Kelly Ripa has never been shy about telling stories that make her family sound like a sitcom come to life, and this latest tale might just take the cake, or in this case, the snacks. During a recent episode of Live with Kelly and Mark, the ever-animated talk show host shared a hilarious and slightly mortifying anecdote about her kids, who apparently took the idea of helping themselves a bit too literally when they stumbled upon a nearby movie set. The incident, as Ripa described it, began innocently enough, but quickly turned into the kind of family story that becomes legend. A mischievous discovery. Ripa and her husband, actor and co-host Mark Consuelos, were spending the afternoon at their New York City home when their 3 kids, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, were younger. The children had been playing outside, exploring the neighborhood, when they came back with suspiciously full hands and guilty grins. They were little, I want to say, maybe 10, 8, and 5, Ripa recalled with her trademark humor. They come home looking like raccoons who just raided a campsite. Bags of chips, candy bars, bottles of water, even a tray of sandwiches. I thought, where did you get all this? We didn't have that kind of snack selection at home. When she pressed for answers, her eldest son Michael finally confessed. They had found a movie set filming just a few blocks away, and decided to investigate. They said, "Mom, there were tables full of food, and no one stopped us." Ripa laughed. So they just helped themselves to everything. They thought it was like a community picnic or something. I was mortified. The great craft services caper. Anyone familiar with Hollywood knows that craft services, the snack tables that fuel film and TV crews through long days, are sacred ground. For hungry kids, though, it must have looked like paradise. According to Ripa, her kids had no clue they were committing what she jokingly called a petty snack heist. Apparently, they walked right past all the crew, right up to the craft services table, she said. No hesitation. Michael grabbed chips, Lola took candy, and Joaquin, my little guy, went straight for the brownies. They said everyone was super nice, just watching these random kids fill up their pockets. Ripa could barely contain her laughter as she described how confidently her children must have marched through the set, blending in like they belonged there. I imagine the crew thought they were like child extras or something, she said. You know, movie kids always hanging around looking adorable and eating snacks. Meanwhile, my kids are literally robbing them blind of granola bars. Mark's reaction. Classic Ripa genes. When Ripa told Mark what happened, his reaction was classic Consuelos, part disbelief, part admiration. He just looked at me and said, well, they're your kids, Ripa said. He wasn't even mad. He said, you probably did the same thing when you were their age. Which, okay, fair point. I did sneak into a wedding once just for dessert. Mark, she added, found the entire situation hysterical and saw it as a sign of their kids' confidence and curiosity. He said, at least they're resourceful. She continued. I said, no, Mark, that's called trespassing and theft, snack theft. But he couldn't stop laughing. He said, they were probably the most polite thieves that set has ever had. When the truth came out, Ripa, being the responsible parent she is, made her kids return to the set and apologize. I marched them right back down the block, she said, grinning. I told them, we're going to say sorry, and you're going to give everything back, except maybe the sandwiches because those were already eaten. When they arrived, the crew reportedly couldn't stop laughing either. They were the nicest people ever, Ripa shared. They said, oh my gosh, we thought they were someone's kids from the production. Apparently, one of the PAs even gave them juice boxes on their way out. So technically, it was an authorized snack theft by the end. The production team, who Ripa declined to name, though she hinted it was a pretty big movie at the time, even sent the family home with a few extra treats as a peace offering. They said, they're adorable, don't worry about it, Ripa recalled. Meanwhile, I'm dying inside. I was like, we are that family now, the craft service raiders. From snack thieves to successful adults. Looking back, Ripa sees the whole escapade as a perfect metaphor for her kids' personalities. Michael's always been the leader. He scoped out the situation, decided it was safe, and gave the go-ahead, she said. Lola's the cautious one, but once she saw everyone else doing it, she was all in. And Joaquin, he's the wild card. He'd walk into a stranger's house if he smelled cookies. Now that her kids are grown, Ripa says the story has become one of the family's favorite running jokes. They still tease me about it, she said. Every time we're on a set, they'll whisper, "Hey mom, is craft services open to the public today?" I'm like, "Don't you dare." Her oldest son, Michael, now works in the entertainment industry himself, ironically, sometimes on sets with craft services tables of his own. He says every time he sees one, he gets flashbacks, Ripa said, laughing. He'll text me a photo of the snack spread and say, "Should I?" For old time's sake. Kelly being Kelly, turning chaos into comedy. Of course, anyone who knows Kelly Ripa knows that she has a gift for spinning her family's everyday chaos into pure entertainment gold. Whether it's her stories about marriage, parenting, or embarrassing celebrity encounters, she has a knack for making the mundane sound like a blockbuster comedy. "I swear, half the time I don't even need writers," Ripa joked on the show. "My life just writes itself. You can't make this stuff up." Her audience, both in studio and watching from home, roared with laughter as she described her kids' infiltration mission. "I could totally see it," one fan commented later on social media. "Those Ripa Consuelo's kids have the confidence of their mom and the charm of their dad. Who's going to say no to them?" Another wrote, "If Kelly's kids ever made a heist movie, I'd watch it." Title suggestion: Ocean's 3, The Snack Job. Ripa herself seemed to love the idea. "Honestly, that could work," she said during the segment. Michael directing, Lola producing, Joaquin starring as the lead snack bandit. "It writes itself." Lessons learned and laughed about. While Ripa admits she was initially mortified by the situation, she says it ended up being a valuable teaching moment for her kids, and a hilarious reminder that even the best-behaved families have their chaotic moments. "I told them, if you don't know who owns it, don't take it," she said. "And they said, but no one said we couldn't. Which, I mean, that's sound kid logic. Flawed, but sound." She added, "We laugh about it now, but I do think it taught them something about honesty and owning up to mistakes. Even if the mistake involved brownies and pretzels." And though her children have since outgrown their snack-stealing days, Ripa admits they've retained a healthy sense of mischief. "They still have that adventurous streak," she said proudly. "They're curious, confident, and not afraid to explore, even if sometimes that means crashing a movie set." The story that keeps on giving. As with most of Ripa's stories, the moment quickly took on a life of its own. Fans began sharing similar tales about their own kids, innocently trespassing, from walking into strangers' weddings to sneaking into neighbor pools. "It's nice to know I'm not alone," Ripa quipped. "Every mom has that one story that makes you go, oh no, we're that family." "Mine just happens to involve a Hollywood buffet." Mark Consuelos, ever the partner in crime, teased his wife about potentially using the story in a sitcom someday. He said, "You realize this could be an entire episode of Live, or even its own pilot." Ripa said, "He's not wrong. I could see it now. The craft services caper, a Ripa family story." Wrapping it up with a laugh. In true Kelly Ripa fashion, she ended the segment with a winking piece of advice for parents everywhere. "If your kids ever come home with snacks you don't remember buying," she said, "don't assume a neighbor dropped them off. Check if there's a movie filming nearby. You might have little snack bandits on your hands." Then, with a grin, she added, "Or better yet, teach them to at least ask for a producer credit next time." A family that laughs together. What makes this story so quintessentially Ripa isn't just the humor, it's the heart. Kelly's ability to find joy, laughter, and even love in the middle of parental chaos is what has made her one of America's most relatable personalities. "Our family has had plenty of embarrassing moments," she reflected. "But I wouldn't trade them for anything. Those are the memories that stick, the moments when you're all laughing so hard you can't breathe." Whether it's a wardrobe malfunction, a live TV slip-up, or a snack heist gone viral, Ripa knows how to turn it into a story worth telling. "Honestly," she said with a shrug, "it's the funny little disasters that make life fun. And if my kids learned anything from me, it's that you can always find the punchline." Epilogue. The return of the snack thieves. Years later, Ripa says she and Mark occasionally spot film crews near their home, and the memories come flooding back. "Every time we see one, we joke about it," she said. "Should we send the kids?" And they'll roll their eyes and say, "Mom, that was one time." But you can tell, deep down, they're proud of it. The great snack heist of the Upper East Side. With that twinkle in her eye and that quick Ripa wit, she concluded. "Honestly, who needs a Hollywood script when you've got kids like mine? They've been writing the comedy for years. I just show up and tell the story."